Good morning everyone, and welcome back to another day in the life video. Last week we ended, that was a good slip right there. Last week we ended on a pretty fun end of the week at the Children's Hospital, getting to see their gait analysis lab. But this week is going to be the true grind because we have our finals this week. We are going to have our movement science final on Tuesday, our musculoskeletal conditions final for the lab portion in the morning, and the actual didactic portion in the afternoon. And then on Friday we'll have our neuromuscular conditions final. On top of that, we will also have a continuum of care lab on Monday. So I am supposed to figure out what case I'm doing and what time I'm going today, so I'll make sure to update you guys on that later. But right now I'm heading off to work. I am covering for one of my friend's shifts so that he's going to take my Sunday shift tomorrow, so I'm just gonna go there now. Well, this morning started off with our continuum of care lab, and it ended up going really well. I had a pretty good plan of how to go into it with some of my questions, but I didn't really plan for any of my interventions ahead of time, and it ended up actually going really well overall. I just had kind of a patient who was in a skilled nursing facility following a fusion within their cervical spine, so they had some spine precautions. And they were also a patient with Parkinson's disease for over 6 years now. So there was a lot of things to consider even on top of that. But overall, I think I put together a very good session. I got some great feedback, just some nitpicky things to really focus on and improve myself in the long run. But I'm really happy with how it went. I definitely rushed a little bit this morning because I thought I was later in the day, but luckily I had put it into my calendar and got a notification at 7:45 that I needed to be there at 8. So I quickly dressed and got over there in time to get it done. So other than it being a very fast-paced, get ready and go morning, it went really well. Also yesterday, we got lots of studying done both individually and with our group, going through lots of things for movement science, as well as dipping into musculoskeletal conditions a little bit. So that studying is going to continue today. We do still have one class later today for clinical reasoning, but then it's just going to be study, study, study. So I'm just going to collect my things and keep on going. Woohoo! So we're all done with our first final of finals week, being movement science. So that is 1 out of our 4 for this week done. Tonight I just have work from 5 until 10, where I'll probably study a decent bit of musculoskeletal conditions and maybe a little bit of neuromuscular conditions. But tomorrow, Wednesday, we have completely off with no tests that day, so it will be a long study day as well. But our next ones are going to be musculoskeletal conditions on Thursday, with the lab portion being in the morning and the didactic portion being in the afternoon. So there's still lots to do. I think I'm going to take a quick break before I head off to work, just so that I can kind of reset my brain and be ready to go for the rest of the night. Oh, well, that was a long day of studying, pretty much from 8:30, I believe, in the morning until 9-ish. Yeah, it's 8:44 right now. So it has been such a long day of studying, both doing individual studying and then moving on to a bunch of group from the late morning on. We were able to cover lots from our musculoskeletal conditions content, which is going to be tomorrow, where we have the comp in the morning from 10 a.m. until 11, and then we have about a 3-hour break before we have our didactic exam for musculoskeletal conditions. So it's going to be pretty busy. We'll have some break in between, but it's going to be filled with studying because then we have our neuromuscular conditions final on Friday at 10 a.m. So there's really not much time to budge. So I'm going to take maybe a 15-minute break or so. I'm going to help get my girlfriend back from the library where she's studying, or actually at the education buildings, and then I'm going to come back and probably hit a little bit more on studying, maybe a bit more on the didactic portion, since I think I'm going to be okay for the comp in the morning. So that's pretty much the plan for tonight. I'm just going to keep on grinding and see where it goes. Well, I ended up having a low back pain case for my MSK comp, and it is all done. Pretty sure that I passed just fine, so I'm very happy with that. But now we just got to keep on going with our studying, and I'm going to head off to the library and get some studying in for musculoskeletal conditions didactic exam this afternoon. Hey everyone, so I did record an outro yesterday, but I did forget to mention some of the things that I'll be doing over break, since there won't really be that much day in the life content. Now that our semester is all over, at least to my knowledge, we passed all of our classes, just waiting for a few more of those grades to go in, but I'm pretty confident that those will be just fine and there will be no surprises there. But we made it all the way through this. That was a very tough semester and a very hard last week to go through, but we made it to the end. I pretty much spent the rest of last night just hanging out with some friends, trying to decompress after the long day. So now I am just preparing and thinking about some of the video ideas that I'll be doing over the winter break, which will be for about the next 2 weeks, since I won't be starting clinic until January. So as soon as that starts, you'll start to see more of that day in the life content from a clinic perspective yet again in outpatient orthopedics. But in the meantime, you might see a couple other videos, such as I have some planned for being able to work during PT school. Is it possible? What are some things to think about when you're considering it if you do? And a few other fun videos along the way. So if you want to see those, make sure to check out those videos as they come out. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been KBDPT, and I'll see you all in the next video.